she has lived up to expectations, right? I'm looking at her the way I look at LeBron James, right? For us, just in the women's side of things, and the height that she had, the expectations she had.
Let's start with the rookie, Caitlin Clark-Kent. Superwoman, you see what I did there? She was on a tear, and last night was no different. Wings, fever. Caitlin Clark set to go as she broke the single-season assist record.
She's been playing like a top 5 player in the league. She's been regularly dishing out double-digit assists in that time frame. Teams can no longer blitz her and trap her.
Did Christie Sides get fired because of Caitlin Clark? That's what everyone's wondering after the Fever let their coach go right after making the playoffs. It doesn't make sense, right? They just had their best season in years and boom, Sides is out the door. But here's the crazy part. It might not be about Clark at all. There's a whole bunch of drama going on behind the scenes that nobody's talking about. You won't believe what we found out about why Sides really got the boot. It's gonna change everything you thought you knew about the Fever's future. You know what's crazy? The Fever started the season 1-8. Everyone thought they were done.
WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
Caitlin Clark joins this team that hadn't sniffed the playoffs since 2016, and it looked like more of the same. Fans were losing their minds, calling for Christie Sides to get fired before the season even really got going. It was ugly, but then something clicked. Clark starts figuring out the pro game, and suddenly the Fever are looking dangerous. It's like someone flipped a switch. They go from being the laughingstock of the league to this unstoppable force. The team goes on an absolute tear, winning 19 of their last 31 games. That's not just good, that's insane for a team that was supposed to be tanking. Imagine being a Fever fan during this run. One minute, you're ready to throw in the towel on another lost season. The next, you're watching your team light up the scoreboard night after night. Clark's dropping dimes like it's nothing. Teammates are stepping up big time.
Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever had over 1.8 million viewers. This is now on an NFL Sunday. They had over 1.8 million viewers, and the rest of the games had around 400,000 viewers. These people are coming in waves to watch one player who has sold out every single arena that she has played in this season. I have not seen the viewership reports for the games last night yet, but I'm sure that it is probably double of what the Indiana Fever game got on Sunday.
And Coach Sides is looking like a genius for getting it all to work. And then it happens. The moment every Fever fan has been dreaming of for 8 long years. They clinch a playoff spot. 8 years of frustration, 8 years of rebuilding, and finally they're back in the postseason. The arena's going crazy, players are hugging on the court, and Coach Sides is right in the middle of it all with the biggest smile you've ever seen. It gets even better. Sides gets named Coach of the Month in August. She's got this team firing on all cylinders at the perfect time. Everyone's talking about the Fever as the feel-good story of the year. Clark's living up to the hype, the young core is developing faster than anyone expected, and Sides is getting credit for putting all the pieces together. At this point, you're thinking Sides has got to be the safest coach in the league, right? She took a team from the basement to the playoffs in one season. She's got the Rookie of the Year frontrunner playing out of her mind. The future's looking brighter than it has in Indiana for a long, long time. Here's where it gets weird. Just when everything seems perfect, when Sides should be planning for a deep playoff run and a bright future with the Fever, there's more to the story. A whole lot more. And trust me, you're not gonna believe what happens next. You know how in sports movies, there's always that shocking twist, right? When things are looking up? Well, the Indiana Fever just went full Hollywood on us. Just when Coach Sides had this team rolling, the front office decided to flip the script. And let me tell you, what they did next is gonna have every WNBA fan's jaw on the floor. Picture this. Christie Sides is probably still riding high from that playoff clincher, maybe even dreaming about a deep postseason run.
Caitlin Clark became the first ever rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double twice in the same season. In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the 6th woman. My WNBA Player of the Week, surprise, surprise, Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing really to say other than that. She's winning Rookie of the Year. She's a top candidate for league MVP on this.
Then out of nowhere, bam, she's fired. Just like that, the coach who turned the Fever's season around is packing up her office. It's the kind of move that makes you do a double take, wondering if you read the news right. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Fever didn't just decide to shake things up on a whim. They brought in the big guns. Kelly Krauskopf, the mastermind behind the Fever's golden years, is back as president of basketball. We're talking about the woman who led this team to 13 playoff appearances and a WNBA title. She's not here to play around. Now, the rumor mill is working overtime. Everyone's buzzing about Stephanie White possibly coming back to Indiana. Think about it. White used to play for the Fever, she's coached them before, and she just won Coach of the Year with the Connecticut Sun. It's like the perfect storm of coaching candidates. But hold up, because Krauskopf isn't showing her hand just yet. She's talking about being bold and assertive in their search for a new coach. What does that even mean? Are we looking at some surprise candidate that nobody's expecting? The suspense is killing me. Here's the thing that's got everyone scratching their heads. How close was Christie Sides to keeping her job? She took a team that was 1-8 and got them to the playoffs. That's not just good, that's miracle worker territory. But apparently, it wasn't enough. Krauskopf's thanking Sides for her work during a transitional period, which is basically code for thanks, but we're aiming higher. It's clear the Fever are going all in on a total makeover. New president, new GM, new coach. They're cleaning house faster than a teenager who heard their parents are coming home early. This isn't just a new chapter, it's a whole new book for the franchise. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. What does all this mean for Caitlin Clark? She's coming off a monster rookie season, looking like the future of the WNBA. Now she's got to adjust to a whole new system, a new coach, new expectations. And don't forget about Aaliyah Boston, another young star who just won Rookie of the Year. These two could be the cornerstones of a dynasty, but only if the Fever get this coaching hire right. We've seen coaching changes mess with young stars before. Remember how Diana Taurasi and Candace Parker had to deal with new coaches early in their careers? It can go either way. Sometimes it launches a player into superstardom. Other times, it throws them off their game. The pressure's on for whoever takes over this team. They're not just coaching a team, they're shaping the future of two of the brightest young talents in the game. So here's the deal. The Fever are going all in. They're not just looking to make the playoffs anymore. They want that championship trophy, and they want it yesterday. It's like they've hit the nitrous on their rebuilding plan, and Caitlin Clark is in the driver's seat. But let's be real, this is a huge gamble. They're betting everything on finding a coach who can take Clark and this young team to the next level. And fast. We've seen this kind of move backfire before in the WNBA. Remember when Phoenix fired their coach after making the playoffs in 2021? Yeah, that didn't exactly work out. This is make or break time for the Fever. If they nail this coaching hire, we could be looking at the next WNBA dynasty. But if they mess it up, Clark's career could get derailed before it really takes off. The pressure's on, and the whole basketball world is watching. Will the Fever's big bet pay off, or are they about to crash and burn?